Hey guys, Simleague here. Welcome to week number 14 of the Minecraft Simleague. And it's week number 2 of cycle number 3, which means we are doing Disparchery. It will be our very last cycle of Disparchery for the season. Clockwork is coming to an end last season, and this could be, as I was saying, the last cycle in general. Like, I don't know. I've kind of been thinking about it, and I know it's kind of early in the video to yap, but 40 something seconds in, 30 seconds in, but um, I've been thinking about it. I've got a couple other series that I want to do. That's going to take from now until sort of the end of the summer, I'm thinking, maybe around next fall-ish. But if nothing really comes of that, and I'm not really gaining subscribers or views or anything, making money off YouTube basically is the goal. If I don't get to that, then I'm going to be stepping away from YouTube for a while, focusing on other things in my life. Moving on. Uh, it's not to say I won't post because I still got games and stuff that I want to play and show you guys, but it won't really be a regular thing anymore. But we are continuing and we are pushing forward, and until that day. So, and there will be, I think during the summer, I'm going to try to post every day, which is going to be kind of crazy. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to keep me around, make sure to subscribe and share me with your friends. That sounded wrong, but share my videos with your friends and get them to subscribe so we can keep this journey going. But anyway, back to the Minecraft Sim League. We are on to week number 14. This is how the standings are looking. We got the Flyers way ahead, 72.5 points for them, with the Chargers nowhere close on 51. Then it's the Edge, 46.5 in third. The Savannah Cats in fourth on 38. The Tridents in fifth, 36.5 points. Then the Jockeys in, sorry, did I say sixth? I meant fifth. Then the Jockeys in sixth on 32. Cherries, 30.5 in seventh. And the Sunrays rounding out the top 8 at 26 points. And this is how the rest of the standings are looking down to the relegation zone. And as I said last week, from the Copper Golems on 20.5 points, 12th place, down to the relegation line is only 4.5 points, and even to the bottom of the relegation zone is 9.5 points. So things could still be shaken up. And even as it stands, we've only got 2 teams in the second division, which if you want a team in the second division, all you got to do is comment a name for a team, and it will literally just go in the second division, and your team will have a chance to play in the Sim League next season if we have one. But right now, we've only got 2 teams in the second division. That's those 2 banners back there. And so only the bottom 2 teams will be relegated automatically if that continues. So we could even see some of these teams that are in the relegation zone survive. But yeah, this is how the standings are looking for the cycle. Obviously, all the teams that won last week are sitting on 2 points. But whoever finishes in this top spot, it's important because they could have a chance to steal the season title away from the Flyers. Although Flyers pretty good grip on it as it stands. But let's get right into it. We are week number 14, Disparchery, cycle 3, week number 2 of cycle number 3. And we get right into today's matches, starting with match number 1. It's going to be the Violets against the Dog Pack. Then we're going to have the Diamondeers taking on the Copper Golems. Then it's the Detonators against the Tridents, the Cherries against the Whitewoods. Then we got the Bucketheads against the Savannah Cats. We got the Bone Bows against the Undead. The Chargers taking on the Flyers, a number 1 versus number 2 matchup. Very exciting there. Then in match number 8, we got the Edge taking on the Lush Dwellers. Then it's the Jockeys against the Sniffers, the Phantoms against the Gapplers, the Sunrays against the Hive Mind, and finally the Royal Hogs against the Pillagers. Well, let's just get right into it. Match number 1, we got the Violets and the Dog Pack. Well, here we go. Violets Dog Pack match number 1, our first quarter of shots here. Dog Pack getting off to a very good start here. That's almost 3 target blocks, but that is going to be 2 and then 2 hay bales as well. So that's 10 points for them to start off. Meanwhile, for the Violets, if I can do my parkour correctly, got 1 here in target block, and it looks like 6 points total for them. So the Dog Pack starting off with the lead here. And into our second round of 4. There's 2 target blocks for the Violets. Nothing much here. That, I think, is in for the Dog Pack. Yep, touching there. That is in. And then 2. So 3 ones and a 2. So 5 points for the Violets. They're going to get up to, or sorry, for the Dog Pack, they're going to get up to 15. And for the Violets, 2 3-pointers and 2 ones will mean 8 points for them. So the Dog Pack's still going to hold on to their lead here. And it's a tight game here at halftime. 8 arrows to go. Oh, did they just miss both of those? And that is catastrophic for the Violets. They are lucky. Oh my goodness, is that a 3 as well? How that, okay. I see like 1 pixel of yellow. So I'm gonna call that a 2. That has gotta be the closest call. The very tip of that arrow is gotta be like right in the corner there. I'm gonna call that a 2 just because I don't want any of the arrows to despawn. So 5 points for the Violets. That's not good for them. That one, I don't even know where that is. It looks like it's only getting into the 2 there. So 5 more points for the Dog Pack as well. So it's still a 1-point game as we get into our last few shots here. Violets shooting a bunch into the ground. That is terrible for them. They're going to get 2 points here, and that is going to hand the Dog Pack the win as they grab, I think, another 6 points there. Yeah, 6 points. So the Dog Pack, 26 points. That's pretty good to the Violets, 21. Let's go enter that in. So Dog Pack taking the win here in their final game of Disparchery for the season. 26-21. I don't, of course, know where that stands in the grand scheme of things. It seems like a lot of points to me. Never mind. 32 was the bronze medal last time. So 26 might not get a medal here. 37 was the gold. And 34 was the silver. Let's check cycle 1. 32. And then I assume 31 was the bronze. And 33 was the gold. So over 30 is enough for a medal there, at least from what we've seen so far. But Dog Pack have the gold as it stands. 26 points for them. Let's get right back into it with match number 2, which is the Diamondeers against the Copper Golems. And let's just get right into match number 2 here. Diamondeers, Copper Golems. Our first 4 arrows. Those look pretty close for the Diamondeers. One of them is in the 3 there. So that is going to be 7 points for them. And just 4 for the Copper Golems. So the Diamondeers going to start off with the lead. Diamondeers currently sitting in the relegation zone. A win will do them greatly here. But it's the Copper Golems with 10 points right there that is going to storm into the lead here. Well, unless the... No, the Diamondeers are going to lose the lead here. But just by 1. So it's another 1-point game at halftime. And a perfect bullseye from the Copper Golems. Very impressive from them. But 2 target blocks here. And a 2 as well for the Diamondeers. So that could be really good for them. Sorry, that is really good for them. 8, 9 points right there. And then for the Copper Golems, it's just 7. So now the Diamondeers taking the lead by 1. I'm down to the final 4 shots here to decide the winner. And it looks like the Diamondeers just dropped the ball. They got 2 arrows in the ground. That is not good at all. And the Copper Golems taking advantage. And they are going to get the win here. So the Copper Golems getting the win here. And the Diamondeers are going to have to try to escape the relegation zone another day. And the score is 28-25. So the Copper Golems now taking the gold from the Dog Pack. But as we saw, 30 was usually the margin to hopefully get a medal if you get above 30. So we will see if that stands as we continue on. And we are on to match number 3, the Detonators and the Tridents. And we are ready to go here with match number 3, Detonators against Tridents. And the Trident's going to start off with some huge points here. That's 3. You can tell the very corner that is, or the very edge of that is clipping the corner there. So that's 9 points. And where is... Did I only shoot 3? No. Oh my goodness. Those two arrows are layered right against each other. 4 target blocks for the Tridents. 12 points. That is the maximum amount of points you can get in one quarter there. And the detonator is gonna fall way behind here as they just score 5. So the Trident's off to a huge lead as we get into our second quarter. Is that 2 more target blocks right there? No, just 1. I think. Yeah. 1 target block, and then that one is hitting. That one's hitting, and then that one's in the ground. So 5 points here for the Tridents. But what could the detonators do? 2 target blocks, pretty decent score there, as well as a 2 and a 1. So 9 points for the detonators. They're trying to get their way back into this thing. And it's only a 3-point game here at halftime. As we get some more shots in. No target blocks despite surrounding it for the detonators. And the Trident's just going to score 4 points here. And only 6 for the detonators. So the Trident's still going to be holding on to this lead, but barely as we get into the fourth quarter. And it is a 1-point game with 4 shots to go. Can the detonators come from behind here? We've got 1 target block for the Tridents, but only 4 points total. And the detonators are going to score 6 here. And they are going to take the win. Incredible stuff. The Trident's just falling off. They scored. I don't think a team has ever scored 12 points by getting like 4 target blocks in 1 quarter, and then they immediately just go in and waste that. So the detonator's gonna get the win here, and the detonators will win it from behind, 26 to the Trident's 25. Still no great scores yet, and one that we would determine to earn a medal. The detonator's now going to share the silver, and the Tridents actually are sharing bronze as it stands, but that is almost 100% likely to change as we get right back into it for match number 4, and it's the Cherries against the Whitewoods. Cherries Whitewoods match number 4. Here we go. Our first round of shots here. Some good ones all around. I don't think any of those are on the target block for the Cherries, actually. So just 6 points for them. How about here for the Whitewoods? They got 2 target blocks, a 2 and a 1. So 9 points for them. Very impressive to start us off. And they are going to take the lead. So the Whitewoods off to an early start, and they're going to keep it going here with another bullseye, basically. About 2 target blocks, 9 points for the Cherries. Is going to see them earn some good points. And now they are going to be tied as 6 points for the Whitewoods as well. We'll bring both teams to 15. So it's a tie game at halftime. Let's see which team will come out on top. That is a target block for the Whitewoods. We're going to call that in. So 6 points for the Whitewoods to keep it going. And not a great score here for the Cherries, as that one is going to be counted as in. Just 5 points for them. So the Whitewoods going to take a 1-point lead going into their fourth quarter. So it really all comes down to this for both of these teams. And that looks like it seals it for the Whitewoods. Just 4 points here for the Cherries. And the Whitewoods 6 will be enough to do it as they take the win. And 27 points for the Whitewoods, enough to get the win and enough for a silver medal now. As the Dogpack and the Detonators will have to settle for bronze for now. Although we've still got 8 games to go here. Anything can happen, really. So let's get right back into it. And it's going to be on to match number 5, the Bucketheads and the Savannah Cats. And here we go for match number 5, straight into it. Oops. That is 5 arrows, my bad. So we're going to have a shortened second quarter after that. That's a 3-pointer. And that is 7 points for the Savannah Cats. And then just 3 points from 5 arrows for the Bucketheads. Not a good start for them. As we get into our shortened second quarter, just 3 arrows because I put in too many last time. And here are some good points for the Bucketheads. Getting 7 right there. And then it is going to be 5 more for the Savannah Cats, and they are going to keep their lead. As halfway through this thing, Savannah Cats up by 2. Into our next round of shots. Not a lot of points here. Just 3 points for both teams, actually. So a pretty low-scoring game. Savannah Cats still going to be up by 2 here. So neither of these teams certainly not going to earn a medal unless something crazy happens, which doesn't look like that's going to be. But it does look like the Savannah Cats are going to get the win. Is that one in the left corner a target block? It is not. It is actually just a 1. So, and that being barely a target block is going to be 7 points for the Savannah Cats. Probably enough to take the win. As, yep, the Bucketheads just score 6 there. And so the Savannah Cats will take the win. And so it's low scores all around, but it is the Savannah Cats that take the win. If I can type correctly, 22-19. There we go. And so no medal for either team, but we continue on. 7 matches to go. Here we go. And so we are on to our halfway point in this week. It's match number 6, the Bone Bows and the Undead. So here we go for match number 6. And the Undead going to start off with 2 target blocks here, 7 points for them. But it's 6 to respond from the Undead, so they're only going to be 1 point off here. And here we go for the second quarter of shots. Oh, not very good score here from the Bone Bows, just 4 for them. That one is a target block from the Undead. I guess just 5 points for them as well, so they're only going to extend their lead by 1 here. So there's been some pretty low scoring games so far. As the Undead might have just proved me wrong right there. That's 3 target blocks and 1 in the dirt, so 9 points for them. And the Bone Bows as well. 8 points. Some very good shots all around. But the Undead once again going to extend their lead by 1. So it's a 3-point game going into the final shots. Which team wants it more? And it's going to be the Undead. That's 8 points right there. And that will see them take their gold medal, actually, I do believe. As the Bone Bows only able to scrape together 6. And despite putting together a decent score, they are going to lose here. So the Bone Bows falling here to the Undead. 29-24. And that 29 points is indeed enough for a gold medal. Copper Golems now dropping down to silver, and it will be the Whitewoods on 27 with the bronze as it stands. Of course, the last couple cycles games of Disparchery have had higher scores, but we shall see if that will return here for cycle number 3. As we are now halfway through this thing, make sure to like and subscribe and share it with someone that you think will be interested. As we move on to matchup number 7, it's the number 2 seed, the number 2 ranked team, the Chargers, up against the number 1 seed, and the number 1 ranked team, the Flyers. And this one could be an important one, especially if we get a big high score here. Let's see. So this game as important as any other for both of these teams. And as well as any other game could decide who will win the title. As the Chargers start off with 8 points. And the Flyers, that's a 2, 3 there. 1, 1. That is going to be 7 points for them. So the Chargers starting off with a 1-point lead here. Here we go for our second quarter of shots. And it looks like the Chargers scoring 11 points here. That's a 1 point away from perfect. And the Flyers only able to scrape together 5 here. So the Chargers getting after a huge lead, and they're storming for that medal. And the lead is 7 here with 8 shots to go. Can the Chargers keep it going? That's not looking very good. It's 4 points overall and 2 in the dirt for the Flyers. Just 2 points for them. They don't seem to want this one at all. Maybe it seems like Their spot at the top of the league is secure, but statistically, it's not. 7 more points here for the Chargers will earn them the gold medal, and I think that's done it right there. That one is in the board, which means that is 8 points for them. And they are going to grab the gold medal here. More than enough to win as well over the Flyers, as the Flyers only get 7 there. Too little, too late. Chargers win. And so in match number 7, it's the Chargers that get a huge win here. 31-21. Flyers really not putting up any points there. Not very many anyway. Couldn't have won most of these, actually all of these matches. So Chargers getting a win, and they're getting the gold medal now, which means that it is the Undead on silver and the Copper Golems on bronze. The Whitewoods now having to settle for no medal, but as we've seen before, 31 still pretty low score for a medal. It has earned a medal, but not a gold so far. So we shall see if the points just keep getting bigger, or if it will stay this way and the Chargers will earn a much needed gold medal if they want to catch up to the Flyers as we move on to match number 8, and it's the Edge against the Lush Dwellers. So here we are ready to go for match number 8. 2/3 of the way through this thing. That is a 3-pointer from the Edge, but just 6 points in total. The Lush Dwellers also grab an edge there, and they are going to get 7. So they're off to a 1-point lead to start us off. And then into our second quarter of shots. It's looking good for the Lush Dwellers. That is 10 points total from them. Very impressive. And the Edge able to grab, that's in the dirt, 7 points. So Lush Dwellers holding on to their lead and extending it. And it's a 4-point game here at halftime. The Lush Dwellers continuing to have good shots here. Oh, 3 of those. 3 of those in the one, so only 6 points. It looks better. It's a good cluster at least, which is what you like to see in IRL archery anyway. And 6 points as well for the Edge. So not really going anywhere as the Lush Dwellers hold on to their lead. And the deficit is 4 for the Edge if they want to make this up. They are one of the teams making a charge on the Flyers, but it's not going to happen today. 4 points for both teams. And the Lush Dwellers, I think they need a win, or at least it'd be greatly appreciated. So 4 points for both teams, and the Lush Dwellers going to get the win. So the Edge not finding their groove here in cycle 3, week number 2, as the Lush Dwellers grab the win 27-23. And that is not going to be enough for a medal. Tied with the Whitewoods, but that is just below bronze now. As we have 4 matches to go, let's get right back into it. And on to match number 9. It's the Jockeys and the Sniffers. Jockeys on the left, Sniffers on the right as we get into match number 9. Jockeys, some good shots from them. No 3s from the Sniffers, but they've got a couple of 2s there for 6 points. And the Jockeys, 3 2s and a 3, so 9 points total. And they're going to start off with the lead as we have 12 shots to go here. Jockeys looking to extend their lead, but they're just going to get 4 points here. And it is 7 for the Sniffers, which I think will tie it. And indeed it will. That 2-point lead erased here, as we are on level ground going into quarter number 3, and the Sniffers just scoring 1 point. That is terrible. That is utterly disgusting. I don't think I've ever seen anything as bad as that. And the Jockeys scoring 6 points, not a lot, but enough to distance themselves from the Sniffers now. As we get into our 4th quarter, surely seems mostly insurmountable, and especially if the Sniffers are going to keep shooting like that. Just 2 points. That is something something special. That's terrible. And Jockeys 7 more points. We'll see them easily grab the win here. And the Jockeys grabbing a 10-point margin once again over the Sniffers. Our second 10-point margin, or sorry, yeah, second 10-point margin this week. 26-16. And it's not enough for medal, but it is pretty close. And we've got 3 matches to go. Let's get right back into it. And we move on 3 matches to go. Match number 10, Phantoms and the Gapplers. And here we go for match number 10, Phantoms and Gapplers. Both of these teams been doing decent recently, but both looking to stay out of the relegation zone, as the Gapplers are going to start off with a 6-4 lead here into our second quarter of shots. And that is just 4 points for both teams, it looks like. And once again, it's a low score, so maybe we will see some pretty low scores earning medals this week, as the Gapplers now scoring some more points here. That is 7 right there, as well as, barely a 2 there, so 7 as well for the Phantoms, and the Gapplers maintain their lead. Though it's still only a 2-point margin as we get into our final 4 shots. That is a 3-pointer for the Phantoms, but there's also one in the dirt, so only 5 points. And it looks like 4 points from the Gapplers will be enough to keep the win by 1. So the Gapplers keeping the Phantoms at bay, 21-20, a really low score, especially for Disparchery. And it is going to be nowhere near a medal for the Gapplers, but it is a win nonetheless. As we've got 2 matches to go, let's get right back into it. And we move on to match number 11. It's my Sunrays taking on the Hive Mind. And looking it up, the Sunrays have played the Hive Mind before in head-to-head matchup. That was in Wrangling last cycle when the Sunrays won and got the gold medal from that match. So hopefully we get a repeat of that today. Also, Sunrays winning 4 of their last 5 games. So hopefully they're on an upward trend here, just inside the top 8 for them. And we're going to start off with 9 points for the Sunrays, just 4 here for the Hive Mind. So the Sunrays off to a good lead, but we've seen leads evaporate, so hopefully they can hold on to it. And it's a pretty good start from the Sunrays if they do want a medal, and they're going to keep it going here. 2 threes right there, and that is a 2 as well, so 10 points now. The Sunrays, they're up to 19. That one's a 3 right there, but just 2 other points from the Hive Mind, so they're only up to 5. Or they're only getting 5 there. So the Sunrays up by 10 at halftime, looking for a medal, and they're going to keep it going still. Some more points here. That looks like, is that a 3 as well? It is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sunrays pouring it on. 9 more points right there, not giving the Hive Mind a chance at all. And it is going to be 3, 5, 7, 8 points for the Hive Mind. So they respond well, but they're still down by a lot, and that lead is still growing. So statistically, Sunrays should secure the gold medal here. And that 3-pointer right there will do it. Because the Hive Mind also put up a decent amount of points. That looks like a 3. It is so very close. I can see pixels overlap, so I'm going to call that a 3. And then a 1 and a 1. So 8 more points for the Hive Mind. They're up to 25. A decent score, but not enough to beat the Storm and Sunrays, who are also going to score 8 points and secure the victory as well as the gold medal. And that might even be the record as well. 36 points. Very impressive. And I have to make sure to say hashtag not scripted, because I do that anytime my team starts winning, and especially when we win like that. We've now got 2 wins against against the Hive Mind in head-to-head matchups, and that might even be our second gold medal against the Hive Mind in head-to-head matchups. That's 36 points, easily enough to secure the gold, and it might be the record, as this is Disparchery. No, 37 is the record from the Edge in cycle number 2, as I know nothing in cycle number 1 got close to that. Our winner in cycle number 1 was the Cover Golems at 33. So the Sunrays, a good score, second highest scoring performance in Disparchery. And we have just one match left to go here. And it is match number 12. We've got the Royal Hogs against the Pillagers. And here we go, our final match of Disparchery for the season. Royal Hogs and Pillagers, and the Royal Hogs are going to start off with the lead here as they grab 8 points right there. And just 6 from the Pillagers. We'll see the Royal Hogs start off with the lead. 12 shots to go here. Royal Hogs up 8-6, and those are not some good shots that the Royal Hogs want to see, as the Pillagers grabbing, I believe that to be 6 yet again. Yeah, that is not touching the board. So just 6 points here for the Pillagers. And for the Royal Hogs, it is 4. So now the game is tied here at halftime. Into the third quarter, and the Royal Hogs getting some good shots away here. But as well for the Pillagers, as they're going to grab 7. And then for the Royal Hogs, that is going to be 3 as well. So 7 as well for them. So we're going to be staying tied into the fourth quarter. And it's not likely that either of these teams are going to grab a medal, but it's still going to be exciting down to the last 4 shots. Some big 3-pointers going either way. 8 points for the Pillagers. Oh my goodness, look how close that is. The pixels are overlapping. If I look over here, can I still see it? I'm trying to remove the black outline of the block. I'm going to say pixels are overlapping there. So that is a 3 and a 2. So 8 points as well for the Royal Hogs. They just could not escape the deadlock. And then we are going to end in yet another Disparchery tie. Rare but possible. And it is a draw in the end for the Royal Hogs and the Pillagers. Both going to secure 1 point here. And our last game of Disparchery for the season just could not be decided. So the teams are going to share 27 apiece for both the Royal Hogs and the Pillagers. And that is how it is going to stand. Sunrays getting the gold medal yet again, and against the Hive Mind once again, which I find very funny. I think those are our only medals of the entire season. So make of that what you will. But we're going to be getting a gold medal and moving up in the rankings probably just a little bit. So let's get these medals in and let's get the standings done. So here we are, Sunrays getting the gold. And then the silver went to a 31 points from the Chargers against the Flyers. And then the 29 points from the Undead, enough to secure bronze. And it was 28 points from the Copper Golems, just missing out. And yeah, pretty low bronze. I think that's the lowest point bronze and probably the lowest point silver we've ever had. But a very good performance from the Sunrays. We'll see them earn gold at 36 points. And let's redo those standings and let's get out of here. So here is how the league is looking after 14 weeks of play. Just 4 weeks to go. It's still the Flyers on top, 72.5. That's pretty uncatchable unless one of these teams below them gets a cycle win. But then the Chargers winning this week, getting a silver medal. They're up to 60 points, very impressive. The Edge still on 46.5. Savannah Cats up to 40, and now the Sunrays cracking the top 10 with the gold medal today, up to 36.5 points. Then we've got the Chargers also on 36.5. Well, wait, there's an error here. I think Sunrays are not on 36.5. They're actually on 38 points, earning the gold medal today. They're at 38 points. Then the Tridents on 36.5. Then we got the Jockeys on 34, and the Cherries on 30.5, rounding out the top 10. So on and so forth, all the way down. Pillagers finally continuing to lose. They did get a draw today, which I think their last point. They got a win last week, and then they have the win from the Clockworkers in cycle number. Let me check. The cycle number 2 is Clockworkers. They got the gold medal, and then their only other point was another Disparchery draw in cycle number 1. So they've earned only 6 points, and then another 10 points from that one gold medal that they have. But that is keeping them above the bronze medalists today, the Undead, who trying their best to get out of the relegation zone again. We've only got 2 teams in the relegation or in the second division, so they might not even have to worry if they're not down here. The 2 teams that do have to worry though the Bucketheads and the Royal Hogs. Royal Hogs only on 11 points. They need something desperately. And for some reason, that one thing could be the cycle win. If they continue to get wins this week, they've got a win and the draw here today in Disparchery as well as the Pillagers. Um, but it's the Sunrays on top. 2 wins from 2 and the gold medal to boot as well. And then the Savannah Cats, 2 wins from 2 as well, and the bronze medal in Clockworkus this cycle, enough to keep him above the 2-0 Copper Golems from this cycle. So this is how our leaderboard for the cycle points is going. Both the Savannah Cats, I guess any team that's not the Chargers basically will need to earn a couple of more medals before they can hope to win from those cycle points. Again, cycle win only 20 points, so that would not get them close enough to the Flyers to take the win. But we shall see. Things always change in the Simleague, and any statistical anomalies could happen, and that's the point of why I'm here simulating and doing what I'm doing, because it's fun and numbers, yay. Anyway, that is week number 14. It's looking very exciting, getting down to the wire, pretty close here. Flyers feeling pretty sure about themselves, but that was a terrible loss today, and they conceded a silver medal to the team in second place, which is never what you want to do if you're leading, of course. So, yep, that is how it is looking. And next week we are on to wrangling my favorite sim sport, and it will be the last cycle of wrangling. So we shall see how that goes. But if you guys have watched to the end, thank you for watching. Comment down below a name for a team that you would like to see in the second division. It doesn't have to be something that just off the top of your head. Give me a name for a team. I'll shout you out, and you will get a team in the second division with a chance to play in the Simleague next year. Of course, if we only get like 4 teams, that's just automatic promotion bids. So if we get more than 4 teams, then we'll have to do a little bit of a cycle before the season starts. But right now, of course, we've only got 2 teams, and so they're automatically going to be in the Simleague next year. So maybe if you jump on the train early, you might as well. You could get a chance to you could just see your team in the Simleague next year, which would be kind of crazy. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Share this with someone that you think would be interested. Subscribe, and see ya.